Okay, so moving on in Vals, our second part, you should have the first 8 measures pretty solid by now. So I'm just going to play those first 8 measures so that we're sure that everything's working okay and everything's sounding about the same as what you're playing. And then we will move on. So here's the first 8 measures of the piece. I'll do it one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so as we move on, the second line of the piece literally only has one difference, the very last measure. So the first 8 measures ends with our 2nd fret 5th string bass note. The second line, the last measure, is just open strings E and E. So we play with P and A, right? And on your score it has 2 rests there. I don't really mind if you stop the sound with those rests. Or you can also just let the notes ring for the 3 beats. 1, 2, 3, and then we start the next measure of the piece. In order to play the last 2 measures of the second line, then, we play our normal open string measure, P and A, I and M twice, and then we just play P and A again on the open E's. So we should now be able to play basically the first 16 measures, the first 2 8-measure phrases, the first 2 lines of the piece. So let's try that. So first time, first line. Have our chord. First time, open strings lead to our 2nd fret 5th string bass note. Second line. Open strings, and now just open E's one more time. And then we move on to our middle section, and that starts on measure 17. So the middle section, the first 4 measures are all material that we've played already. So if you look at measures 5 through 8, those 4 measures are identical to 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we actually just start our middle section of the piece at measure 17 with material we know. We just start with the chord. It's just slightly out of order. So we play our chord, P and A, and then we play our single notes as usual. We play our open string measure, and then we play our 2nd fret 5th string. So identical to measures 5, 6, 7, and 8. So here I go again. Here's that chord. 2nd fret. And I always feel like this 2nd fret bass note leads us into our next section, because what happens is we go from 2nd fret on the 5th string to open A on the 5th string, and so new notes on the higher strings. So I always feel like this leads or falls into the next section. So if that helps you remember it, it certainly helps me. So now we have this. 2nd fret falls into the new stuff. Okay, and so here is the new material, and that is, it is open A by itself as a bass note, and then we're going to play notes A and C on the 2nd and 3rd string. So C is 1st fret on the 2nd string, and A is 2nd fret on the 3rd string, sort of a little diagonal shape on the 2nd and 3rd strings. So we start off the first measure of this section, and this is actually a little piece of an A minor chord. So I actually like to call it the A minor section. So we start our A minor section by playing bass note A, and then playing our little chord of A and C twice with I and M, our usual, more or less our usual arpeggio pattern. So thumb, then fingers twice, and then the thumb and the fingers all happen at once. And then what you do is slide this shape up 2 frets to what is actually B and D. You play it once you get there, and then you slide back to where you started and play that. So that measure is together. You slide up and play, slide back and play. So the whole A minor section now sounds like this. Thumb, fingers twice, fingers and thumb together, slide up 2 frets, slide back, and play each time after your slide. So without talking. Then the last 2 measures of that line are really simple. It's just a 6-string E bass note by itself with arpeggio notes, 2nd fret 5th string again, and then we're on to the next line of the middle section of the piece. So starting at measure 17 and going all the way to the end of that line, we start with material we know. Our 2nd fret 5th string leads us into A minor section. So now the A minor section is open A, and we make our A and C little small diagonal chord there. Thumb, fingers twice, thumb and fingers together, slide up 2 frets, slide back 2 frets. Then a bass note 6th string, and a bass note 5th string 2nd fret. Alright. So here's 17 through the end of that line. Chord starts us. A minor section. Okay, so next video for the next section.